One of the most amazing gifts that games offer us is the ability to escape reality, and to allow us, the players, to perform feats, achievements and abilities that we otherwise wouldn't be able to. Whether that be parachuting from a helicopter in Just Cause 3, lifting the Champions League Cup in FIFA, or becoming a badass wizard in Skyrim, the vast majority of games speak to our imagination and allow us those precious moments of escapism. Dangerous Golf, on the other hand, bypasses our imagination entirely. Instead, it speaks to that little devil that sits on our shoulder that is always urging us into mischief. It's a game that appeals to the chaos-loving masochist within all of us, handing us the tools to cause destruction and to smile with glee as we do so. Wrapped up in a crappy pretense about being in some sort of globe-trotting golf team, Dangerous Golf is all about hitting golf balls as hard as you can into expensive things. Ming vases, suits of armour, petrol pumps, cases of champagne, mirrors, stacks of plates, expensive looking paintings, everything in this garage you're watching now, everything in Dangerous Golf is destructible, and everything has a cash value attached to it. The aim of almost every level in the game is to trash, bash and mash everything in sight, in order to rack up as much monetary damage as possible before putting the ball in the hole. The more damage you do, the better medal you are awarded. As fun as that sounds, and as excited as that little devil on your shoulder is probably getting right about now, Dangerous Golf imposes some structure and limitations on the carnage which, in turn, limits the fun. Firstly, during most standard levels, you are limited to 2 strokes of the ball. This means that you only really get the first whack at it, to tee off, to cause as much damage as possible. The second stroke is usually reserved for putting the ball, and it's only in rare situations that you are able to cause much chaos on your second swing. Should you fail to pot the ball, you receive heavy penalties to your score, and you are unlikely to receive any kind of medal for your trouble. To counteract that, Dangerous Golf tries to spice it up a little bit with some otherworldly abilities, namely the Smash Breaker. This is an ability that is unlocked should you cause enough damage on your first shot. Once activated, the golf ball bounces to life and you get to manually steer it around the environment, dismantling everything in your wake for a limited time. When this mode is activated, everything goes a little slow-mo, and it's here where that little devil inside you can really let loose, watching as cupboards splinter and mirrors smash and you generally cause havoc, except the camera angle usually gets a little bit muddled up and your view of the action is never quite what you want it to be. The camera angles are simply the worst thing about Dangerous Golf. The tee-off angle is too restrictive and doesn't give you a very clear view of where you are smashing your ball. Once the ball is loosed upon the scenery, the game takes over and the camera dances around to where it expects you to get the best view, which is almost never the case. Then, after activating the Smash Breaker, the camera once again comes under your spell, but it's too close to the action and debris often obscures your view. It's more than a little frustrating to know that you are tearing a kitchen to pieces only to be watching bits of the stuff that you've already destroyed. What's even more frustrating is that to unlock more of the game's content, you have to have at least achieved a bronze medal on all of the levels you have already unlocked, and there seems to be no pattern in terms of difficulty levels. One level might be simple, where the medal is won on your first attempt. The very next level might be eye-wateringly difficult and require at least 20 goes, or a lot of luck. There's no rhyme or rhythm to the difficulty spikes in this game, and it doesn't get progressively more challenging like most traditional games. Still, when you manage to wrestle control of the camera and aim the golf ball into that sweet spot, the feeling of elation you get from watching all that chaos unfold, and you with the cause, it's amazing. As cakes fly into the air and shells jolt from the walls, plates smashing all over the place, I imagine it's the same kind of rush that Pete Townsend gets when he's smashing up one of his guitars on stage, and it's almost guaranteed to raise a smile on your face. It's just a shame it doesn't happen as often as it should. Dangerous Golf doesn't rely entirely on the physics-based destruction to entertain you either. There are a few other minigame styled levels in there too that, to be honest, are a bit of a mixed bag. The multi-flag levels, where you have to put the ball in as many holes as possible within a time limit, are very enjoyable and can cause quite a sweat. At the other end of the spectrum, when Dangerous Golf introduces hazards, items that you can't touch and if you do instantly fail the level, it all starts to fall apart. When your camera is as clunky as this one is, having items such as these in a physics-based smash 'em up is just insanity. The game stops being fun almost instantly. Dangerous Golf seems like a wasted opportunity. It's a game that's suited for short bursts of play or as part of a party playlist, but will likely frustrate anybody that tries to play it for a long period of time. The premise, the smashing up of stately manors and petrol stations just for shits and giggles, is a massive draw, but it feels like developers Three Fields Interactive have tried to force too much structure and too many rules on a game that should be more like Goat Simulator rather than Angry Birds. Even with the recent patch that drastically reduced the load times, introduced on-screen button prompts and includes a sorely missed tutorial, Dangerous Golf still feels like half as fun as it could and probably should have been, and it's a massive letdown for that little devil on my shoulder.